Skateboarding, one action sport that is loved by quite a lot of people, and you know, with skateboarding along comes with skateboarding video games. Skateboarding's video games have been around for quite some time and they aren't anything new. Believe it or not, I mean the first skateboarding video game, 720 or 720 Degrees, came out in 1986. I have actually played it, it was on my PSP and it kind of sucks. Wasn't my first skateboarding video game though, that actually happened to be Skate 1, yeah, the very first Skate. Yeah, that's the one that I grew up on. But for the pensioners of the gaming generation, yous lot grew up on Tony Hawk. And I mean, you had it good. It was the first good skateboarding game that had ever came out. And I mean, the man did his job. He is one of the most well-known person in the whole of skateboarding. So how could his game be bad? Tony Hawk franchise went on a absolute rampage for a while until it sort of died. In the PS3 era, it just died. Proving Grounds came out, dead, and then all of a sudden PS4, and it was like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, I think it is, and that was terrible. So I mean, we're not going to look at that. But talking of Proving Grounds, you know, that one game that kind of, you know, put pause on Tony for a little while. Well, we're going to be looking at that, but you know, not in the normal version, because you know, I don't look at anything that's normal. We're going to look at the tiny little DS version instead. I'm just going to say now that this might be a tough watch because I am bad at this game. I am bad. I only ever really played this when I was little on my DS. I didn't really know what I was doing and I was just playing it to have fun. So I was never actually good at the game, and because I grew up on Skate and I don't have Tony Hawk knowledge or Tony Hawk controls, and it is bad. And I mean, some idiot at Nintendo decided to switch basically the confirm and back button around. I don't know why someone decided to do that, but they did. So yeah, double idiot moment here. This game has a really good soundtrack, and I mean it. It genuinely has a excellent soundtrack. One's so good I forgot that I had to turn it off, obviously, because can't really be doing that when you're making a video because copyright claim. Zoomed on through the character creation because there really isn't much to it, and I did play these tutorials because 1, I'm bad, and 2, I don't know what the buttons are. There is a weird little feature in this game. You don't push to go. I mean, I am so used to spamming just X or pressing it to just ride around. You don't push, you just go. I mean, there is a bit later on, it unlocks a little thing that allows you to aggro push. I mean, oh yay, pushing, but it's kind of bad, and I mean, you can only do it every now and again to sort of build up speed. It counts as a trick, which is nice, so it will increase your multiplier, but I mean, it's not really the best. First thing we've got to do is talk to the Birdman himself, and he goes, yep, you're new here, so have a tour of this park. Why not? It makes sense. Have a little look around, have a quick look, see what you think, and come back to me. Quickly zoom round, and I did cut this out because I know you didn't really want to see it, but we come back and have a little chat to Tony, and he's like, that was pretty cool, you can ride on a skateboard just like me. And then one little really nice feature about this game is customizable stuff. He gives you money, and there's a skate park editor in this game. Granted, it's not very good, you just sort of pick between 3 options, but then again, this is on the DS, and I mean, it's a nice little gameplay feature. It's very cool. You have 3 little different tiers. You've got the bad tier, which is cheap, and you get like a bad looking sort of thing, and then you've got like the mid tier, which is for some reason has all of the good stuff in it, and I think this middle bit looks better than the last one, and the last one is just really expensive. But on like all of them, the last one is like, this is kind of like not very cool, but the middle one, always good value for money. Riding over to our first pro now, or other pro, I suppose, Ryan Checkler. A long time, I think he just fell off the map, honestly. I haven't heard of him since this sort of era of gaming. He sort of disappeared. He was in like movies and stuff as well. Gone. But here's our first little challenge. We have to get, I think it's 50,000 points in this little half-pipey little thing here. And oh my god, as you can see, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I just restarted because I was struggling. I know that you have to like revert to manual to keep the combo going, but I was like lacking air, and each time I was like doing a revert to manual, I would just like lose all of the speed that I had, and then I wouldn't be able to like sort of keep it going. So I could only keep it going for like a minimal amount of time. I mean, I don't really know much about this game, and I'm just sort of trying my best to at least try and get every sick score that I can, just so I can say that I've done it and show a bit of progress. Rounding off the challenge here, I don't know if I'm like, I sort of have a okay understanding at the game, or like this score is incredibly low for a 6 score. I don't know, because I managed to do it on my, the second try, I suppose you could say that. But I mean, it's done. I mean, I managed to reach it, which is pretty cool, and then I got quite a bit of money. You also get like some stuff to put inside of your little house. I guess I'll show that off at some point if I get round to it, probably when like I've got most of the items. But I mean, we've done this one at least. Here's the little sort of like character creator. There's a lot of different options, but they're not very good. Like, I mean, all of the head shape looks the same, and you sort of just change the hair, and they are very, very low poly and don't look amazing. I mean, some of the outfits make you look like morbidly obese, but only in the top half of your body, which is really odd. It's a weird little character creator. It's not really got much to it. I mean, it's here just for the sake of it being here, so you can sort of change your clothes. I don't even think you can buy new clothes. It's just sort of like a small little one that you can use. There are special tricks in this game, but you have to actually click on the little button. Obviously, you just tap that with your thumb in game, so I can vampire walk if need be. Next little mission that we've got going on here is how to aggro kick. This is like the one push mechanic that you can sort of use for a small speed boost. It's not great. I was very confused at how this worked when I first did it, because I was like, oh, I've only got to the one checkpoint and I didn't even make it to the actual AM score. But without telling you, you actually have to aggro kick and then turn it into a combo, because when you are in a combo, the timer will just keep going even if it's at 0 until you finish your combo. So I didn't realize you had to do that, and I was just reading over this because I was like, I am doing this right. I am just meant to push, but no, they just don't tell you about it, and you were meant to know that you needed to combo anyway. After realizing what I was actually meant to do was just push a couple of times, then go into a manual and make it over to the last couple of like checkpoint thingies. Yeah, but I mean, it would have been nice if you told me that this is how it worked, because I had no idea, coming from a complete Tony Hawk noob. I sort of knew it from like a couple of Tony Hawk videos I've watched on other people playing it, but I didn't really, I didn't think to do this at first. Off to Philadelphia now, so we just get taken to a new area completely after doing that. There is like other sort of like mini game things that I will show off in this area, because they're fresh ones and I haven't actually done them by mistake because I was just trying to practice how the game worked. But yeah, we've got a new area to skate in, a whole new place, which is very nice, but that also means that we've got a whole load of new tasks to be doing, so let's go on with those. So there's markers around the place where you sort of have to like do a certain thing and get this far on it. So there's one for manual, and there's one for like vert, and then there's one for grinding, and obviously here I'm doing the manual one, and I managed to get to the 6 score. Because I'm playing this on a D-pad, it is kind of hard to turn and keep my balance at the same time, because if I turn I then sort of have to also adjust my balance, and you know how it is with a D-pad, you can also press like up right and up left if you sort of roll your thumb around, so it's a bit finicky, but it is possible. On to our first task at Philly, and this is to spine transfer, and sort of like there's a button on the controller, well not the controller, on the DS, where if you press it you'll do a spine transfer, you do an acid drop, or you'll do like a bank in, and it was sort of just teaching you how to do this and do it in all the different areas. I mean, this has a small little slow-mo feature which is quite cool. I just sort of have to go around and pick all these up. I mean, it's not really that interesting of a challenge, it is just go around and do this in this area, and that's all I really had to do. Next task in Philly was to sort of like be a little showman for a food vendor. This was really annoying because I read it and then it says do it in like a specific area without leaving, and you had to get it in a certain range. I didn't realize this genuinely means anywhere in the map, but you just have to get it in that green area and under a certain amount of time. This wasn't really hard because I didn't get what I was doing, but then all of a sudden I accidentally did it, so I mean, that kind of worked out for me. I went back to the skate park to see what was new, and it turns out there was another spot that I could edit, so I went into there to see what was up, and this is like sort of like a corner piece that I could choose from. It was on the middle one to start with, which looked really nice, and then there was like the one at the end just looked stupid. I was like, what is it? It's just a ramp, and then like someone's cut a toilet roll in half and just glued it to the floor. Like, what is that about? I don't understand, but I just chose the middle one and went for that. Whilst I was there, it turns out there was like floating money. I had never seen this before. Honestly, I had played this game so many times as a child and always in this area. I never knew there was money you could pick up around. That was new to me. After collecting that, I found another area that I could upgrade and just sort of spent my money on that, and I just chose the best looking option, which for some reason this time happened to be the third option. Usually that's always the worst one. Whilst in this area, I also did the little grind challenge just so I had these out of the way. There's only one more in this area. I've done the manual one and now I've done the grind one, which is like the air one, but I don't know how you get more air, so I'm just guessing I need to get my air stat up so I can then do that. Had another little lesson with the ginger guy, and I mean, this guy really loves his spine transfers because, oh my god, I have to do it again. It's not like I know how this works now, and you're sort of just shoving the feature down my throat. They just wanted me to do a 540 indie and do the spine transfer at the same time. I sort of messed it up on this first one. I don't know how. I thought I was going to be fine, and then I wasn't. I picked up a bit of cash, which was quite nice. I went to restart, and I was like, oh, I've got 12 seconds. I can just do it back the other way, and just did it, and it was perfect. So I don't know what I did wrong the first time, but it was really as easy as that. Met a new man here, and he's a boxer, and he's here to teach me about more gimmicks with the DS. Yes, I have to slide to do these things. This is quite tough because the circle one really kind of refuses to register half the time, so I don't think it's actually possible for me to go for the 6 score, because it doesn't seem to want to register any faster than what I'm doing. I'm spinning it like crazy and it just doesn't want to go any faster. I had so many attempts at this and my best was genuinely just the pro score, so I had the 6 score left to get. I can probably revisit it later down the line to see if I can do it, but I really don't think I don't have enough air time with using a mouse to be able to do it, unfortunately. He also gives you another set of tasks where you have to get a certain amount of tricks done that he calls out in a sort of little time limit, and I had the biggest fumble of all time here. You have to do 25 different tricks. Obviously they do pop up and they are the same sometimes, like you'll see varial kickflips, impossibles and stuff like kickflips and hill flips repeat a few times, but even so, with the mix of like grinds and stuff in here, where I actually kind of struggle with grinds, and doing sort of 360 grabs sort of takes up a lot of your time as well. But the grinds, if a blunt slide comes up, I cannot do that. For some reason, I don't know, it's like refusing the input ever so slightly. Could just be me. I end up stalling instead when I try to do it, because you have to double press down and then press the grind button, and it doesn't really want to work. And I was doing quite well here. I mean, I had numerous attempts at this. I was just practicing, and this was actually quite good because it sort of teaches me what each sort of thing does, and I have had to do them several different times, so kind of gave me a bit of practice. But I was just not getting the grinds done properly, and they were kind of blocking up me having a chance to just have simple flip tricks, and I was just like quick refreshing quite a lot of the times, like quick restarts if it came up at the start and it wanted me to do a blunt slide, because I was like, nah, can't, I need fast flow to get it. And here I just fumbled. All I needed to do was just do a grind and I would have been fine, and I was just spamming the wrong button out of panic, and I sort of ended up saying this. Oh, you're joking, you're actually joking. What happened there? Biggest fumble in the universe. Had a very good start on my next try where I had a varial kickflip straight away. It then went to a blunt slide and I just can't do the input. Don't know, it just must be me. And then I got a bunch of kick flips, varial hill flips, loads and loads of flip tricks, and it really, really helped me out because I was so lucky to be getting them, because they're quite simple to do. All you got to do is wait until you're back in the air again, and you can do 2 in 1 air. I was just choosing not to. I was trying to play it on the safe side, but sometimes when I knew I had enough time and I knew what the trick was so easy to do, that I would just do it anyway. So I mean, you just had to get a bit more used to it. This was probably super easy for anyone that's played this game before. This is probably like the easiest thing ever, and hearing me say that I struggled, or like trying to talk about it as if like this was a hard challenge to do, probably sounds really dumb, and you just don't understand why I'm struggling. But honestly, as someone who has no idea about the controls with Tony Hawk and being so used to just flip controls, well, flick stick controls, I suppose you could say, because it's like sort of industry standard now. Skater XL has it, yes, in a different format, and same with Session, but they sort of still use the same thing where it is the left and right stick rather than directional buttons and normal buttons. So I wasn't very used to this, but I managed to pull it out the bag. Next thing I did was to do this little like grind challenge that was up here. It's just sort of like get far and switch between a couple of rails, so I had to learn how to jump from one rail to another. I mean, that's a new thing for me, and I eventually did do it. I think I'll just leave these out from now on because they aren't like a main part of the game. They're sort of like a side objective, but I just wanted to show you that I was doing these and completing these, so the manual ones, the grind ones, and I'll probably go around and do the air ones all at the end when I've maxed out my air stat. I think that's probably the best way to do it. I think that's how you're meant to do it. But yeah, a lot of struggles trying to figure out how to jump off to one side. It's like hold it and then jump at the same time, but then it was just like doing it all at once was confusing me because I was trying to balance at the same time. So yeah, kind of tough, but I managed to do it. Next up we had like a film challenge, which is kind of cool, so it takes away from the point related aspect of Tony Hawk and then just sort of gives you like set tricks to do in a certain line, and you have to do them in this order. And it took a while to do this, no doubt, yes, no doubt at all, it took a while, but I actually got so good at it that I did more than the required sick amount. I ended up doing 35 instead of 20. I did every single thing he called out and did all of it and managed to pull it off flawlessly at the end of this. So I mean, I'm getting there, I guess. I'm getting there, which is quite cool. This is quite long. There's quite a lot of tricks to do. Obviously, as I said, there's like 35 different things you've got to do, but then they like sort of combo it at the end. And then I sort of just understood it. I sort of knew how to get going, and I was just like, oh, this actually works, and I feel a bit better at this game now. Talking about destroying a challenge and being good at the game, this is our first like little point contest that we had to do against other AI. This is probably like easy AI, but I smashed this. Oh my god, I was not expecting the skill to just come out. I was just combo and combo and combo, and it was all going really well, and I was managing to skate everything. I don't even think I fell over at any point, which was really cool. I seem to actually be understanding what I'm meant to do and how much airtime I have and what I can and can't do in that certain amount of time, and like trying to keep it all together to maximize the amount of points I can get and go around everywhere getting all of the sort of things. I just managed to pull it off, which is really cool. And it felt great, and I actually feel like I'm progressing, and it feels so good to actually be doing that. I think I came out on top. Okay, I did fall over, I'm very sorry, but I think I came out on top with like 100 odd K points. I just smashed it. Next up was a photographer lady, and she kind of just taught me how to backflip. This was super easy, and I mean, I will start speeding up these tasks, especially when they're this easy. I messed it up on the first go, then smashed it on the second. Like, it is getting, I am understanding the game a bit more, and I feel like I'll speed through the tasks a bit more, so you don't have this ultra long video. I mean, you're here at the 17-minute mark, which I very much appreciate you sticking with me through this video, but I will start speeding this up so you aren't here for like 6 years, because otherwise I'd be explaining literally everything in the game. But I suppose I do just go over the whole game. But yeah, this was really easy. The next task was with the boxer guy again. So some people have multiple tasks, as you've seen before, but this guy has 3 of them, and he wanted me to score 15,000 points whilst on camera. This is like, so basically one air you have to score 15k points. Didn't realize that. Even tried building a combo before it, because I thought, oh, you know, if I build a combo I can easily get 15k points, and then hit a camera. Like there, I got 40,000 points. When you actually get inside of the camera, it takes away what current multiplier you had and all of the points that you had, and you're only meant to get it in the air that you're captured in the camera for. So that was kind of odd, but I did manage to do it in the end. I had to sort of do a backflip and multiple tricks at once, and then I somehow got 20k, so that was quite nice. Next up was another one for the photographer, but this time she's like the ginger man. Just collect all this stuff. There's a bit of signs dotted around, and I was like, oh, fair enough, yeah, I get it, I can go do that for you. Grinded the first lot, which was pretty easy. These aren't in order whatsoever. You have to figure out the route yourself. Came up here, and I don't know how I did this. Turned it into a dark slide, and even I was baffled. What? How the hell did I do dark slide? What? Okay. To do this properly, you actually have to turn round, air up this, to then get some speed to air down, to air out of this, to then grind this one rail that's up here. This one is the most obscure little thing ever, and it's the first thing you need to collect to do it in the correct order, because otherwise, just because of how you have to get it, it has to be done first, because I don't think you can really get it any other way, and then just obviously follow the loop around like I am, and then you can get it done. It's pretty simple, not too hard whatsoever, and I mean, I managed to get the 6th score at the end of this, so I mean, it's really not hard. Next up, we speak to a bum, and he has the one sound effect that I remember from my childhood.
Dynamite, dude!
And yeah, this sound effect, I don't know why I remember this. But all we had to do was get a 6 score, and I smashed this. I can't lie, I was rather proud of myself figuring this out. I managed to just like get this really good. I'm really happy with myself that I managed to do this. I know this probably isn't like majorly impressive, but I mean, I'm proud of it. It was cool. It went into a nose stool, into a hand plant, and then done. And then I had, what was it, like 149,000 points. Like that was sick. Tony pops in to check on us and he says hello. He talks about Andrew Reynolds and shows us Andrew Reynolds' skate video. These actual skate videos are compressed into the tiny little DS cartridge, and there's quite a few of them. I don't know why he shows us Andrew's one, and he talks about Andrew, but then Bam Margera turns up instead, so kind of confused at what that was about. Instead of going to see Bam and see what he wanted, I instead spoke to the bum guy again because he still had another task to do, and instead of doing it as just one trick, I did it as a combo instead because that was the actual task I was meant to do. Another 50,000 points just in one multiplayer wasn't too hard because I ended up just doing a bunch of like lip trick stuff. These seem to give you like a ton of points, and it's the only one I can figure out how to then transfer into a different trick to then just do the same thing again. So it was quite easy. I mean, I got way more points than I needed, but easy mode. I went to a suit dude instead because this guy was locked earlier and I wanted to see what he actually wanted me to do, and this is very, very much a Tony Hawk challenge. When I think of Tony Hawk, I think of just smashing random stuff that is placed around a level, and you sort of have to just collect them and do it. I had to get 16 different trash bags and knock them over or whatever. I guess you just meant to clean up the city or whatever, but I'm doing it now just so I don't have to do it later. It's quite simple and not much of an interesting task. Back to the food vendor, and we have another sort of new unique way of doing a task. Instead of score, you have to get like style points, and it's mainly for just doing particular things like large gaps and big airs and loads of spins, long grinds, and then you can also do long lip tricks. And it turns out you can just cheese this by finding a pool like this and then grinding all the way around it, jumping off, grinding all the way around it, and jumping off. All you have to do is that loads of times, and then you can get the 6 score. Saying what's up to Bam Margera now, and today he is here to talk to us about more DS gimmicks. There's this weird little freak out feature inside of the DS. I don't know if this is specific to the DS only ones, but I feel like I've done this before in a different game. But what he wanted us to do here was get like 100,000 worth of points, like get it in a multiplier, but instead of actually land and, you know, get those 100,000 points, instead fall over, and then you have to like freak out by tapping these 3 little bars that go up and down. So you can't just actually do this straight away. You have to actually time this little feature that's only there for a split second. I thought originally you had to just click as fast as possible and that would build up your freak out meter, and then you'd freak out in a specific way. I swear this is a thing in a different game. I could be wrong. I feel like I've done this before where it's done like that, but no, this one you have to actually get them at certain heights and tap them in the right way, and then you get to do it. And I just did this with a nice little 6 score and actually got it done for once. Next up, Tony takes us to Baltimore. Yeah, that one place from Hairspray. Don't ask me why I know that. That is a place. Right, we're here, and we're here to skate the place up. Total different area with a bunch of water fountains that he loves to talk about. I mean, skating in a water fountain with the water still running doesn't sound like a good plan, Tony. But a good plan to me sounds like just not doing what you were meant to do and then go and have a look at the new thing that you unlocked before just, you know, leaving it and saving it for later and doing all the tasks that you're meant to do. No, I want to see it now and I want to change it now. So I went and had a look, and this is like a corner piece, and once again the middle section makes the most sense. I don't get why this corner piece on the last bit isn't even a corner piece. It's like a back wall feature. Why if you're making it the most expensive option, do you give it the least flow? A bit confusing, but I went for the middle option because it seemed like the best option to me. Back in Baltimore, and I'm here to chat to a suit dude, and once again he wants us to knock more Tony Hawk type stuff off of Tony Hawk type things. So this is what I'm going to do, is go and grind and knock off all these little, what they look, he says flyers, these are quite clearly newspapers, okay? You cannot tell me that these do not look like newspapers, because that's what they are, and you can't lie to me about that. Right. I did not know that you also have to do this in a combo. This is another task, right? You go in a complete straight line, grinding to get all of these things, and then there's a little gap where there's a bit of floor, and then there's 2 more left to get to the 6th score. But your character automatically stops. Just automatically stops straight away. And you know why? Because it was meant to be done in a combo, and there's no mention of it anywhere at all. I didn't even know that. It just doesn't mention it, and it just wants you to do it instead. Just in case anyone plays this game after watching this video, which I do recommend, this is a great game, just on this task alone, do not do what you think you should do and revert to manual. No, don't try that. Instead of just reverting to manual, just manual, and then just slightly angle yourself to the right, so when you do the grind, instead of going left and straight into the wall like an idiot, you actually go the right direction. Chatting to a cheeky little guard man now, and what he wants you to do is do a little combo for him. This is quite obscure because this is really short as well. The sick one is actually quite easy, and all you have to do is literally manual, bounce off of a wall, push, and then grind, and you're done. And it was really easy once you find the spot to do it in. The ginger boy is back, and he's asking us to skate this like pool on a roof. People who make the cities in Tony Hawk, you are some weird dudes, because you for some reason love to just put pools literally everywhere. Not complaining though, it's very nice of you. But he wants us to ollie north to a backflip. And I can't help you with this because I don't even understand how I did it. It just worked, and I did it. That's all I can tell you. Another suit dude challenge, but instead of it being, you know, get the flyers and do a combo type thing, no, it's like what the ginger dude wanted before, you know, where we had to spine transfer a bunch of times. Instead he says flyers posted. No, you just sort of have to go through those little sign things and collect a bunch of them, and I fumbled the bag again. Oh, right on the last one, and of course I start doing stalls instead of actually doing just one simple grind. No, I'm gonna stall a bunch of times instead, because that's exactly what I want. Haha, you're hilarious. You're actually hilarious. What are you doing? Just grind. But then again, it took me countless amounts of effort to re-get to that same point again, to then almost just fumble straight away again. So yeah, this task is simple. It's just I like to fumble the bag for no reason. Me back up with the bum again, and he wants us to do 15 different tricks. This is all in one combo, by the way, just to let you know, because it doesn't specify this stuff anywhere, but just assumes that you should just realise by now that everything has to be done in a combo, rather than doing it, you know, 15 individual different tricks in a certain amount of time. I thought that's what it was going to be. Nope, got to be in a combo. And yeah, this wasn't too hard, and actually quite simple by the end of it. Another incredibly basic task. All he wanted me to do was do a crooked grind on this rail and pass these people's windows, and that's literally all I had to do. Photographer lady's back again, and she wants us to do several different things in a little line, and oh my god, is this awful to do. First of all, you have to go up a hill to then grind this rail to go down it, to then actually having to grind this fence all the way around where it doesn't tell you, and you sort of have to spam triangle 3 times to do this 3 different little grind thing. Yeah, you have to kind of do that. That's really awkward. And then you have to then manual to a nair spin, which kills all your speed, by the way, because you're just spinning on a pole, to then jump off, to then turn it into a manual across a boardwalk and get that to work. I managed to do it at the end of it because I figured out how to do different tricks whilst manualing, and they sort of give you a speed boost, but this completely kills any speed that you had, making it incredibly hard to finish. This is just a weird little one that you have to do, and for some reason this has to be done in a combo, and because of the way that it's laid out, you lose all your speed, so it makes it incredibly hard to do. The guard man is back again, and once again we have to do some other task, and this one is to grind a little ledge that's up in the air and then jump off and do a 540 melon. And the only problem with this was just trying to get the 540 itself. Getting enough spin for this was really tough. You sort of have to just jump out and hope that you get enough spin. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. For me, it just happened to land on one of them. Getting some food once again, and we have to do a little film challenge. These are actually kind of easy. You just sort of have to play them a few times to know what's coming up next, to do them really fast at the start, so then you have enough time to do the harder stuff at the end. And then once you've done that, the 6th score is super easy to get, because it's just a matter of remembering what's up next, and then the tricks overall aren't really even that difficult. He also had another task that he wanted me to do, which was just to go through these 3 little checkpoints whilst keeping a combo and making sure it was above a total score at the end, which was about 40,000 I think. But it was really simple. It was just a matter of making sure I got the combo, because a lot of of the checkpoints were placed really weirdly apart, and sometimes it was just hard to keep a manual and get to another position, and that was really the only tough bit. Third and final task from the food vendor, and he wanted us to score 100,000 points in the tiny little car park that we grinded past with the photographer lady earlier. This was really simple because I managed to just actually figure out how stalls worked, racked up a really nice combo, and finished it nice and quick. Another one of the pros turned up, and his name is Arto. I never heard of this dude before, unfortunately, but he's teaching us about foot plants, and this is the weirdest area to teach us about foot plants because none of it makes any sense to what you're meant to do. There's like a central bit that's like, oh, maybe I meant to foot plant on this car. No, because that's not how the feature works. You're meant to, instead of reverting out of a quarter pipe, you're just meant to ollie instead, and it does a foot plant. It's so odd. I do not get why it's set up like this because it's super confusing. Once again, more confusing tasks in this game. Yeah, weird one, but got it done, and then we're actually done with this area, and we also unlocked a new little bit of skate park for us. Another rare occasion where the most expensive thing actually looks kind of decent for once. No, it turns out I skated and previewed it. It is so absurdly large. I don't understand why it has this middle bit that, like, look at how big it is. It doesn't even make sense. There's like a middle bit. There's not even like a rail. It's just a hallway. Like, what is this? Like, who is going and designing these? What is going through your head? This is terrible. This is just bad. Who wants to pay money for that? Tony's back again, and he's teaching us about the museum district. Well, not teaching us, but taking us there. And yeah, it's a museum district. What did you really expect? Our first task is to chat to a non-pro skater, and basically what he wants us to do is 3 spine transfers. 2 of them are at the front of the museum, and then one is the one that they don't even tell you about. You're also meant to do this in a complete combo, so you have to go from the first one to the second one to the third one, which is on your immediate left after doing the second one, which they why would they tell you about it? Back once again with a hardcore skater, and he is here to teach us about a little task that he likes to call insane balance. And I mean, he is not joking at all when he says this. This is no joke. Insane balance skill is required. You need to be good at making sure your thing is in the middle of this, because this is something else. Once you've done all the little skipping stones that is at the start, you then have to grind uphill, and this kills a ton of your speed, and you need grind speed for this, otherwise you will be going along and your balance meter is becoming a whole lot tougher, and you are just going less of a distance, and you need to keep that speed up, because if your balance meter goes off the rails, you just tap it one way and you just completely fall off, and you can't be having that. Also, the actual path itself is actually quite tough. Obviously you start with a lot of skipping stones. Yes, that is kind of tough. It's actually super easy, to be fair. It's the most simple part of it because your balance meter is completely normal, so you can make it quite easily. But then when you have to go around a bunch of corners, which chucks your balance meter one way or the other, then you also have to, for the 6 score, it tricks you and thinks you're going to be fine and you can just grind along the ledge until the end. Nah, there's a little tiny gap in front of the last one, and I fell for this too many times. Oh, what the fuck? I'm even pressing the button. No! Are you for real? What the fuck is that about? What are you on? Are you fucking serious? Finally, oh my god. You just couldn't jump the last bit because you just give up. You get to the end, you're like, I'm actually just going to take a break from doing a grind and just plummet down to the floor. What an idiot. Anger aside, it just gets a whole lot worse. This is the most awful challenge ever. Oh my god, this photographer lady, right? You know before it's like, oh yeah, we want you to get this amount of combo inside of these cameras. Well, there's a lot of them dotted everywhere. She wants 100,000 points, and half of them are rubbish. None of them can even give you any points at all. If you try and do a combo or just, you know, get something that's even 2 times, it refuses to do anything like it of the sort. And half the cameras are just in the middle of nowhere. None of them make any sense. They're just dotted at random, and this is the first task where I thought, you know what, 6 score, you can just do one. I am not even coming close to touching this. We managed to get it on the stream after a very long and antagonizing little rant about how much I just hate this challenge and the game just being bad, bad. It's not. It's actually a great game. Just some of these tasks in here are awful. Just gonna skip over these career girl tasks because they're awful. I don't know why she thought of these, because these are bad. 35 different tricks in under a minute, and they have to be, every single one of them has to be unique and in a combo. Yep, goodbye. And then the other one, practice for a competition. That's a complete lie, because I don't know what you're on about. You give me some of the worst tricks ever. Some of them don't even register half the time. 180 kickflip, but it has to be done on the floor, and no one tells you about that. Don't know why, but can't do it on a ramp, even though that's what you do every other time. But yeah, rubbish tasks, so I'm skipping over these. Mr. Suitman, you're my saviour. Back once again to just give us some of the most reasonable tasks ever. This is, okay, completely straightforward. You want me to grind and collect all of these without dropping the grind. This one, yeah, is a bit more difficult because you asked me to jump across places and I wasn't ready for half of that stuff, and then sometimes that bit didn't grind and some of the jumps are a little tricky, but this is still a completely reasonable task, and thank you very much for asking me to do it, because it felt quite nice to get another 6 score after just being absolutely destroyed by the most silly tasks in the game. For someone who hasn't played Tony Hawk at all really, and this is the first time basically ever playing it properly, yeah, I'm not very good at it, so it's nice to have some reasonable tasks in my eyes. Chatting to a punk girl here. She looks like she's more from outer space than punk, I would say, from that profile picture. Well, profile picture, I mean, it's just her little photo, but this is a weird one, right? This is the tightest that I have ever seen a score that you've ever, like, this is just the most skinniest little thing ever, and it's a quarter pipe that you can't lip trick on, so my strategy of like using the like lip trick spam is just not possible because you can't lip trick on these little quarter pipes, but for some reason they actually work going up and down, and you cannot touch left or right, otherwise you're falling off straight away. I somehow managed to pull this out of the bag, but this was a really tough one just because of the surface area of where you can skate is very minimal, but once again, another task completed. Photographer lady's back, and she is giving us the most reasonable task ever. 600,000 points, but actually using the time limit. Oh, okay, I can do that. Not in one combo. You know, 90% of the time you'll do a task, right? And there'll be a time limit on screen, and it means absolutely nothing, because as soon as you just touch your wheels to the floor, nope, you're right, that's it. But no, this one was in the time limit. Get a nice little combo going. 600,000 points, sorted. The guard's back and he wants us to just clean up the area, knock a load of trash bags over. Perfectly reasonable task again. Thank you very much for just giving me the most simple things ever. It makes it nice on my brain and I don't have to think about your silly little gameplay. Like, he's got another task here, which I won't show you, where it wants you to get all the way up this hill, right, that I'm skating up right this very second, in a combo, and you have to start the combo instantly. Manuals don't have enough speed, and even doing that little flip trick to get a speed boost does not give you enough speed to get up this hill. So the task is basically impossible. So I have no idea what this guy is on, but or whoever designed it never play tested it, because that is not possible in one combo whatsoever. Punk Girl's back, and she's here to tell us to grind all of these priceless little planes that are hung up inside of a museum. You know, do some real criminal damage. Well, not really. You're sort of just leaving a little grind mark on a wing that no one's ever going to see, because who's actually viewing it from above? But this is just another little grind task, you know, sort of the same as the suit guy usually tells us to do. Similar to this, but you have to go through checkpoints instead. This is very manageable, and took me a while to figure out how to get across everywhere, because some of the gaps feel impossible when you're doing them for the first time, but manageable, and it's done. Suit Dude has a task, and this is one I was originally gonna skip. This is a reused thing. This is just a reused task again, just in a different area. But this one, right? I hate this. The way this works, you have to sort of make different people happy, and they're all over the place. I didn't realize that if you just ride past them all in one combo, it lifts all of them up at once, and I figured that out a bit later. And what I was trying to do is wait until it was like 30 seconds left, and then go past everyone and just try and do the best combo I could, like just in a manual, so I could collect everyone at once and just spam out a quick combo. And I was wasting my life away doing this, and I hate this task. I am never going to do it again, but I thought I'd rather do this one than try and like make it impossibly up a hill whilst manualing. Yeah, that one wasn't going to happen, so I had to do this instead. But thankfully this was the last task to get the Pro Man to appear. This did cause quite a bit of raging though, so I feel like I should leave those clips in just for a bit of my own sanity, and it might be a bit funny. Fuck! Oh, stop! I'm not even doing that. I'm just wasting my life. Saying hello to the god of skateboarding, Rodney Mullen. You thought it was Tony Hawk. No, this man is insane. If you've ever seen any of his footage, you will understand why. He does things that no one ever thought you could do on skateboarding. Yeah, he's something else. He really is. And he's telling us how to, like, Burt slide. This is just a thing, sort of like a handbrake turn, I suppose you could call it. If the handbrake turn of skateboarding. That's basically all this is. Yeah, you just sort of just turn around corners. This was manageable, and at first I was like, oh, this is manageable. I think I even say it at one point. I could do. This is reasonable. This is reasonable. And then it's like the hitboxes on all of these little tiny things are just terrible. I don't know why they're so incredibly tiny. I managed to do it at the end, but I only missed like 2 on my first go by the tiniest bit. So I thought, oh, I'll give it a go for the 6th score because I only missed 2. And then I was here for another 5 minutes because of the hitboxes, like minuscule. We finally have another skate park spot, and I am basically just playing the game until I have all of these, because that's what I would consider complete when I can customize the whole of the skate park. And one of these pieces looks like a Hot Wheels track. Yeah, the most expensive one again, kind of bad. It has terrible flow. I don't know what it is. For some reason, whoever designed all of the really expensive ones was like, oh, what is flow? Yeah, we're going to have none of it. And then all of the other stuff is actually kind of cool and is a bit more fun to skate. It's like very Tony Hawk skateable. Like, this might work if it was like Skate. That would be kind of cool to skate, but not in Tony Hawk. This is just not very fun. So really expensive bits are a complete waste of time. So the middle one, I was like, I'll go for that instead. Heading off to FDR Skate Park now, and this place is terrible. This is the worst designed bit in the whole of the game. It is so compact with so much unnecessary crap that you just bump into everything. It makes it impossible to skate. Half of it doesn't even flow properly. This is just terrible. They couldn't have chose a worse skate park for a Tony Hawk game at all. Like, I get that this is a absolute monument and staple in the skating culture. It's in session, and even in there, this place skates horribly. This is just bad. I don't like it. It is awful. Nothing about it has any flow, or the level design and the way that they did it made it so tight and compact that it just ruins every single challenge. Everything is so confusing. You don't know where anything is. All of the little dots, which I was just trying to follow on the mini-map, that was my main guidance, did not help at all, because they give you a rough idea of where it is, but if you can't see it, you have no clue where it's going to be. Honestly, this is terrible. They should, I don't know who play tested this and thought they was like, yep, this is going to stay in the game because this is bad. This is where I went from liking and having fun playing the game to this is a chore and I don't want to do this anymore. I should probably talk about the task at hand, and I don't know who designed this one because this is terrible. You place this in the most weirdest order that you could, and instead of them being all on the map at once and then you could choose your own order, because you could probably find a better way of doing it than this. Oh my god, I don't know who thought of this, to point an arrow to go to each individual one and then make them have no flow into each other. None of these flow together at all. You go to one and then you have to go out of your way and dodge round stuff to get to the other one, and then the next one is exactly the same, and then sometimes they're just placed so tightly together that you miss it and you have to start again, especially if you're going for the 6th score, because it's like, oh, you know what, I'll actually try it with this one. But this is an area where I will only go for the pro score. The 6th score can go away because there's no point to it. It is just unnecessary stress and just makes it horrible and unenjoyable. Suit Dude is for some reason hanging out in a skate park. I guess he just really likes us to do random stuff, but collect videotapes is what we're up to now, and you couldn't have placed these in a worse order at all. I don't get who is making these challenges in this area, and I hope you don't have a job anymore, and the fact that you should be homeless, because you just put this awfully together. You do not deserve to be a game developer after this, because this is not what game developing is about. You are meant to make it fun and have flow and it to be an enjoyable time. This is just a nightmare because they're all placed in the most weirdest locations ever, and when I actually cut this to the bit where I'm actually doing this, the best score I could, you'll see that I have to like stop and turn to go and collect some stuff that you couldn't get to unless you had to stop and turn and jump up to it. It has no flow whatsoever. I get they're meant to be hard to collect because they're videotapes, they're meant to be secrets in the Tony Hawk games, but this one is a challenge, and yeah, a challenge, I guess, but you could have actually like made it make sense, or you had to do a combo to collect all of these, because you've done all of that before, but you took it away here and just made it impossible, or well, not really impossible, just incredibly bad. Of course, the man with the best voice line also has the best tasks, and this one is a sort of a new one. This hasn't happened yet in the game, and this is red light, green light. Yeah, Squid Game reference all the way back in 2007. They really predicted the future with this one. But it is just get a target score, and if you land your score when it's on the red light, it doesn't count, and then it does on the green. Thankfully, it's not. You can't do anything when it's red, and you can only score when it's green. Otherwise, that'd be literally a nightmare. But this one, it is doable. At the 6th score I could have got it, but it's not really fun to skate the skate park. You know, a skate park designed for skating isn't fun to skate at all. Wow, that's a bit odd, isn't it? But yeah, no, this is the most reasonable task here, and I didn't get a 6th score for it because I was just like, I've done this and I can't be bothered. Honestly, I just want to wrap this up at this point. He also has another task where you collect trash bags, and this one isn't as fun as the other ones. Usually they're really like nicely made, where you have to do it in a combo, which is obviously the tough part, but when they do them, it's usually like grind this certain way, and you have to also keep it up and keep yourself balanced and collect all of these things at the same time, and I find that a lot more fun than this, because these are dotted about in the most random places ever, and I'm just sort of struggling to find them half the time, because the dots on the map aren't always the best, and to be honest, it's just not that great. I don't know what happened here, or what happened in development, where they went from making a really fun game to just making the worst thing imaginable for a Tony Hawk game. So the mascot wants us to do one of those gimmicky little tasks where you slide the stuff on the screen and it does a trick back that we did ages ago. Yeah, we got another one of these and it's just rubbish, so you can't really do it with the mouse. It doesn't work very well. I mean, it would probably work on the DS, but it doesn't work here, so that's about it. Suit Dude's got another task, and this one is terrible as well, because it's like they don't know what they want you to do. That's what it seems like. They give you so many different tricks in like a place where it doesn't make sense to do any of them. Like, you either want air tricks and flip tricks, or you want grind and manual tricks, but they want all 4 at once, and it's not like there's a perfect bowl in this place that you can do all of that in, because unlike all of the other places, well, at least at the start of the game where it had good map design, that doesn't exist here, so it is almost impossible to do all of these sort of tricks and get to a 6 score in the amount of time that you're given. I struggled so hard to get a pro score here, because you have to get 30, and to get 30 alone is near enough impossible, and then also getting 40 as your 6 score, no way. Boxer came in and that actually was my saving grace with a nice little combo point mission. I really like these because this is what Tony Hawk is all about, is high scores. That's the whole point. The way that the game works in an unrealistic manner is because the focus of the game is actually points and not doing realistic tricks. So me standing on, doing handstands and just flipping my board over and over again is just how to get a high score, because you just rack up the multiplier, and that is exactly what I want. And it just worked so much better for me, and I managed to actually get the 6 score here, kind of by mistake. I was more just aiming for the pro score, and then it just happened to be a 6 score, which worked out. So this was quite a nice little relaxing sort of task, I suppose you could say. The filmer guy is back, and instead of filming a line where you can get lost in this skate park because everything looks the same and nothing makes sense, this is a pretty simple task. He just wants us to do a trick in front of a camera. On the first one, I actually just did the wrong grab, the wrong direction, just a left-right mistake, and then I just got it straight after, so it was really nice. Just a simple trick, something really easy, and it was just nice to get me done. There's a local skater here, and this is a horrible task. Do 20 different tricks? Yeah, that's not really the problem. It's the fact that the game randomly just kills what you're doing whenever it feels like it. You'll just be doing fine, and you're just doing what you're meant to be doing, and then all of a sudden, like that, where am I spine transferring to? I'm spine transferring my face into the ramp for some reason. It just kept killing my chances at doing this task over and over again, and that's more what was frustrating, is because I wasn't the problem. The game just for some reason was just ruining my chances of getting it done. I managed to do it in the end, but it was just not fun whatsoever, because there would be so many close attempts and you'd be on like 19 out of 20, and then the game would just go, actually, we're just going to stop you from doing that that combo there, one off, and give you the AM score. I don't know why it decided to do this, but it was just the most annoying thing in the world. And that was the main issue with these. It's just all of a sudden it would do nothing at all what you were just trying to put in, and it just kill everything for no reason. He also had another task called Around the Park, and I originally avoided doing this because I was like, oh, I know what it's going to be like. It's just going to put this awful little course around the park, and I'm gonna hate skating it because the skate park is just awful to skate. This also wanted you to do it in a combo and get a 6 score at the same time. I wasn't aiming for any score whatsoever. I was just trying to do it in a combo and get it done, and I just managed to also get the 6 score at the same time. I didn't even realize I had done it until I had finished that I had got the 6 score. I thought I was never gonna even come close to getting 200k, and then somehow I had done it by accident. This Skatepark wanted you to do a 720 indie, and well, this is just straight up impossible because you do not get given enough height or spin for a 720 indie. It's mainly the height is the issue because you can't really do any more than whatever the default spin is. It just does not let you have it whatsoever. So instead I just did a 540 melon because that was the pro one. But if you're actually going to set a task, maybe make it so it's possible, because if you hit the spine transfer button, it doesn't let you go any higher, and I tried to build up speed before, but this one straight up impossible. Don't even bother with the 6 score. Lance Mountain turns up, and this is what I mean when I said I was worried about seeing the filmer guy here. He actually wants you to do this silly little filmer guy challenge, and it does not work. This skate park is so compact and just pure and utter chaos that because of the way that the camera is laid out in the game, and obviously it has to be quite close into the skater, you just get lost because you can't see anything, and you can't turn or do anything or just navigate around the park because you just cannot see anything. And that's what made it really hard, is trying to figure out where the filmer had fucked off to because of the fact that you can't see where he's at. You look on the minimap, and the minimap is just a bunch of like different coloured grey blobs that I don't even know what is what, that I somehow have to navigate whilst trying to do tricks at the same time. It just made it near enough impossible to do because I just couldn't figure out where I was. And then one of the ones for the pro score was like do a 360 kickflip and a 360 heel flip in one air. How am I meant to do that? Because if you want me to do a heel flip, I then have to also rotate the other way, so that doesn't really work, and then it's just not possible anyway because this guy's going to wander off on his own, and you're never going to have enough air to do a 720. We finally got ourselves another skate piece, and this one, the most expensive one, wasn't too bad, but I ended up just going with the bowl because of the fact that the steering in this game to get yourself around just isn't very good, and it's just a bit more fun to skate in a bowl than actually trying to maneuver on ramps. Onto another area, and it's also another skate park, so this map is terrible. So what I'm going to do is save you a lot of time and just skip through all of these tasks and tell you if they were shit or whether I got the 6 score on them. Shitty film challenge, shitty newspaper challenge, shit do this type of trick challenge where you just had to go along and do different tricks, shit challenge, shit combo little challenge, wasn't actually too bad, just didn't bother doing the 6 score, shit get this bar inside of this area challenge with this combo but don't go too high, shitty challenge, red light green light combo challenge, actually wasn't too bad, I managed to get the 6 score on this one. 2 million point 6 score challenge, I actually managed to do this one, got a really nice 40 times combo at the start. Shitty go to this checkpoint challenge whilst in a combo thing, shit grind this thing and collect these things by doing specific task thing challenge, shitty get this gap and do a trick at the same time challenge, which didn't really work properly, shit do this trick and also get this amount of combo. Pro task was knock down a ped and then get this combo challenge. Overall, an absolutely horrible skate park and just terrible map design. I don't know who thought about this. I don't know who went and made the skate parks for this game, but you did a terrible job and you just kind of ruined the game for me. This game is great when you give me street sections and the first skate park that you build in the game, but any time that you try and build a skate park, you overdo it, overcrowd it, and it just becomes awful, and then all the tasks in it are also terrible. Thankfully, I never have to go there again, and we did get a skate park piece out of this. The middle one didn't look really too cool that time, and the first one is just like a different ramp, but the third one actually looked quite fun, so I thought, yeah, I'll install this one. Off over to Washington, DC, and oh my god, I had high hopes for this, because I was like, oh my god, this is outside in a street section, it might actually be really good. And then they ruined it straight away, completely after. I mean, some of the first tasks were good, but other than that, this is bad. So this one was like one of those ones where you have to do something on camera, and you had to grind, do a trick and acid drop at the same time. And I don't know whoever came up with this, but I feel like you don't realise that your slow-mo feature actually affects the spin speed in this game. Because if you do a 360 normally with an acid drop without this camera being here, you'll be able to do it. But as soon as the slow-mo comes involved, you cannot do it. And it stops you from doing the 360 rocket air for the 6th score, because the 360 double kickflip is super easy because the kickflip spins so much easier than doing the rocket air, but with the grab at the same time, it makes it a lot slower and it just doesn't work. So I had to just do the pro score here, and this one wasn't really too bad. It was the only one that I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. This was another do like tons of tricks in a combo sort of challenge. You have to do all the different like individual tricks in one combo, and this one yeah, 25 as the AM score. No thanks. Yeah, I did it because I had to get 25, but I'm not really going to try for the rest. That's actually just ridiculous. I don't even know all of the inputs to do 45 different ones, let alone do it in a time limit and off the top of my head. And with your silly little revert to manual feature in the pool just cancelling out every now and again, you would do the revert and then you'd do the manual and it wouldn't keep the combo. It would just decide to not do that. Don't know what's up with you, but this one was just a bunch of rubbish. Suit Dude had a task where I had to do certain tricks that he was calling out in this big half pipe. Thankfully it was quite long, otherwise you just accidentally spin too far and then you'd be off at a wrong angle and send yourself out if it was any shorter than it was. This was quite nice because all of it was grab related rather than, oh, do a flip trick, do a grind, do a flip, do this, do that. It was just way too many different things on the other one before, and this one was really nice because of the fact that they were all grab focused. It made it so much simpler and it was way more fun to do because of the fact that it was like, oh, these are only grabs, so this is the things that I've got to do. The only one that was different was the lip trick, and that is so straightforward because you're literally going back and forth, so you can just tap the grind button and it will instantly go into the lip trick rather than it will accidentally do a grind. So that was really nice. I actually quite liked this one. Ended up getting the pro score. The 6th score was just, I couldn't really do it quick enough in time. If I had a lot of practice, I probably could do it, but this one I was just like, yep, I'm happy with that. The other task he had for me was just to do that little, you know, the silly little get this inside of this little green section and do it in a certain amount of time. This one wasn't like, it was just kind of annoying really. I don't like these because you have to sort of like read the numbers and do the maths in your head at the same time whilst trying to play the game to make sure that you actually get it in the green section first try rather than going over, because then you have to do enough tricks to get it all the way back down into the green section and not too many because otherwise you end up back in the yellow and then it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So you kind of just have to just all of a sudden be able to do it. It's really annoying. The bum had one of the simplest tasks I think I've ever seen. It was just sort of roll down here and manual towards a car. All you really had to do was just turn it into a handstand and then do a hand flip for the pro one. So I was like, oh, I know how to do that, so I'll just do that because it's nice and simple. The mascot had me doing another one of those silly little combo ones, and this one just refused to do anything that I needed it to do. It would just randomly kill the combo I had going for absolutely no reason. I have no idea why. I spent loads of times trying to spine transfer to grind around that little pool bit in the middle. Sometimes it would try and launch me over the top of it, and sometimes it would put me through the water. It could never make up its mind on what it wanted to do, and all it would do is just ruin my fun. That's all it was good at. It's just absolutely ruining everything that I was trying to do. So this combo thing was just horrible because of the area I was skating in more than anything. It's just not fun. The mascot had another one where I had to do sort of, you know, a similar combo and get a really high score. This one wasn't a problem because it was just only based on a single combo, so I didn't have to do really it within a time limit, sort of, yes, but I knew that if I dropped the combo, that was it over. So I thought, I'll skate to a better area and then skate there and then hopefully get a good combo. And this proves that it's not me, it genuinely is the game, because there is so many times where it would kill my combo for no reason. I'm pretty sure this game is coded to make sure that you sometimes just completely ruin everything that you were doing because of the fact that it wants you just to be frustrated and keep playing for longer amounts of time. Because the amount of times that I dropped this combo for no reason, because every time the feature where you revert to manual just wouldn't work, because I'd revert and manual and all of a sudden the combo would be gone, and I didn't even do anything. I was doing your inputs that you taught me how to do to keep a combo going, and it just wouldn't work. So this is all on you, game, not on me, because I can do it when you want to work. This next one from the bum was to find a bunch of gaps, and one of them was a manual gap, map, and I have no idea where this is. I don't know. There's like, he's showing you that it's all in this area, but I don't know where the manual one is. I thought, oh yeah, if I manual all the way up the stairs and back down the other side, it would work. Nope, couldn't find that one. It just didn't exist. But I managed to get 4 of them, and I got no idea where the 5th one could even be. So yeah, I only had to get the AM score here because I couldn't even get the pro one because I didn't know where the last bit was. The hardcore skater had a checkpoint task, and this is rubbish. I don't get who designed this, because you start nowhere near the first checkpoint, and on the exact frame you start, if you do not start the combo straight away, it just ends. So you can't even go over to the first checkpoint and then start the combo to get the rest of them, because no, you can't do that. So I've got no idea what this game is up to, because it just doesn't want to do anything fairly. So I just sacked this one off and got the AM score, which was just drive between all of the different ones. The other one he had was rather similar, where it was like the checkpoints were more fairly placed, like as if you were collecting the newspapers in a different task. It was sort of similar to that, but once again you start with no speed and are expected to go uphill, and the gap, if you don't have enough speed for it, you will fall short of, and it is tiny. So trying to turn round to go up this quarter pipe to come back down to build a bit of speed is terrible. You cannot turn in this space at all, and the quarter pipe's so small that if you're off by the slightest bit, you either hit the rail in front of it or you'll just hit something else and you won't be able to do it. I could have got the 6th score on this, but I was just so over, I was just like, I do not want to be doing this anymore, that I just hopped off, and then when I realised after I had hopped off that I only had a couple of bits to go and I could have just done it, that I was like, yeah, I don't even care, I don't want to bother with this anymore. The filmer guy had such a simple task, but I was wound up so much over it that I just got the AM score and hopped off instantly. I was like, no thanks mate, I am not bothering here. Day One Song was our pro for this task, and to be fair, this one wasn't bad, but who the hell designed this? Why do I start nowhere near the where the task is? I'm at the bottom of it, and you're meant to skate all the way around to the back, then go up and grind this thing, to then get up to this special area, to then grind and do the thing. So if you mess it up, you have to drive all the way back up there again to then do the same thing, and if you mess up again, then you've got to go up there again. Who made this up? You should just start near the rail, hop on, do the trick, done. I don't know why I've got to skate all the way there beforehand. Skate spot number 9, and honestly I want to call it quits here, because this is technically the final piece, because you then have to go and do all of the pro tasks inside of this skate park, which are probably just super extreme. I haven't even looked at them yet as of saying this, but this area was kind of cool. This third one was just humongous. I did not think that this was going to be this big, but it is. And this is I would technically call this the last piece, because as soon as I jump over here, this gap in front of me where it's just empty nothing to the next bit of the skate park is where the last bit is. So am I complete? Am I not? I don't know. That's basically what this is. So for your sake, but not the sake of my own sanity, I will do the last and final 10th piece, because we've come this far, I may as well do it. Right. In for the first task, and we actually had a nice one to begin with. I'm very annoyed right now because one of the tasks that pops up later, I spent a lot of time and effort on it, and got the 6th score when I wasn't even trying for it. I was just trying to actually finish it, and guess what? I didn't even record it. So I am fuming right now, and the reward for it wasn't even worth it. I want to kick everyone's head in. Whoever, I want to go to the studio and beat all of you up, because you are idiots. I don't know what happened, because at the start of the game you lot were doing great, and then you just turned to shit at the end. I don't know what happened. I absolutely have no idea, but at least this task wasn't even that bad. I had kind of a bit of fun doing it, because it was quite reasonable, and you know, it's not bad. You know, when I said the developers are a bunch of idiots, oh, here's one right now. Jesus Christ, I don't know what you lot were smoking, and it better be fucking crack, and you ruined your life, because unbelievably you have designed a ramp that doesn't work. You cannot do this task properly. It doesn't work. I have maxed my speed stat. This is with max speed stat and a spine transfer, and you cannot make it up here. It does not work. Yes, I ollied over it there, but this isn't the point. Even if I did it perfectly, if you jump at the end of the ramp to give yourself enough height to make it onto the next bit, guess what happens? You fall short. And if you jump early so you have enough distance, guess what happens? You slam into the fucking container. What are you smoking when you made this game? Because all of you never play tested this. I don't know what you thought you were doing when you made this, because you can barely make it up, but you can't make it up to grind. It doesn't work. That's not how it works. And the staircase, I may as well fucking climb Mount Everest. I don't know what you were smoking there. You can't even ride up it half the time because the guy starts to turn round because it's too steep for him. How is that possible? I don't get what is wrong with the developers of this game, but they are terrible. Talk about another terrible challenge. Why not get points in front of the camera? Wow, maybe if you designed this properly, it wouldn't be so terrible. I don't understand what you lot went through when you decided to make this, because it sure as hell isn't fun. I don't get what you're doing. It doesn't even make sense. At the start of this, I spine transfer to go into this first camera because I need the extra height, and what happens? The guy just randomly falls over each time I go up the ramp into the camera. I couldn't even actually do a trick because he would fall over before anything would happen. I'm not even pressing any buttons. Randomly, this guy will just fall over. It doesn't even make any sense. This is the worst, well, second worst task in the game. Don't even get me started on the last one, because this is awful. I don't know why you chose all of the worst things to put together in one area. It's not fun, it is just tedious, boring and horrible. I'm sorry, Tony, no wonder your game went in the drain, because this is awful. Oh, here we are at the only surviving bit of footage I have of the worst task in the game. So, I'm just going to tell you how to do this in case you ever want to just ruin your own life. First of all, you have to skate past the yellow guy, but to start off, stand still and do a freak out. So you can do a speed boost, because I didn't know that happened. That's how much I played this task. I found new shit that I didn't know was even in the game. If you stand still and freak out, you'll get a speed boost straight away, and you need to blast into this silly little ginger boy at the start. Oh, by the way, they're all exactly the same player model. How bloody lazy is that? But oh my god, you have to blast into him, grind up the staircase, slam yourself through this second guy, then manual all the way over to the far corner of the map to go to the red guy, and make sure you have this bowl in the game. Make sure you have bought this bowl, because it is your saviour. It's the only thing that even makes this thing slightly possible. Oh, and just another thing, you see the timer at the top? Just make sure you start under 1 minute, because you only have one combo to do it in anyway, because otherwise you're going to spend literal years just trying to please everyone by riding around and pulling off a little silly combo in front of them. No, you have to ride past all of them in one combo so it hits them all at once. You have to go over here, ride past all three of them, and oh my god, all that happened time and time again was I'd get past this final red guy, grind that curb down towards the bowl, and in between the bowl and the curb there's a gap, and you've got to manual that, and all it would do is just kill my manual. I'd press up, I would do everything I could to stop it from happening, and all it would do is just end my combo straight away. You have to have luck on your side if it wants to work, or you can cheat and somehow find a infinite manual stat, because that will be your saving grace, because it really is impossible, or almost impossible on its own, and it is horrible. So you have to do it this way round, and then you have to get into the bowl and then grind round the lip, or get yourself into a hand plant or something and just keep switching it to make the multiplier go up. That's all you can do, and then you have to make sure on 0 seconds that you land it and don't fall over, and then you will actually be able to pass this task. It is horrible, and I hate it with every fibre of my being, and this proves that this was the biggest waste of time after this next task. I was so worked up that I almost forgot these were in the game. There's 2 other tasks you have to do before this, and one of them, I don't know what you were doing when you developed that, because it's not even made properly, but this one actually is. Yeah, so it's Bam again, and he's just doing the same task that he did when you first met him. Just get a bunch of points, fall over, freak out. Simple as that. Literally, that's all it is. I don't know which one of the developers made this, because you did a bad job at it. Did you realise that the final piece of the game, that bit of skate park, that you were telling us, oh yeah, make sure you put all your skateboard bits in the correct position and make them the correct one to make you have the best chance of getting all these bits? You know what you did, right? You thought, oh wait, let's put a piece that the person playing the game can't even get at this point of the game and make it actually part of this task that you can't. If you don't have it, you cannot make the 6 score. It doesn't work. It's just not possible. You know why? Because it puts one of the things in the air. It puts it so high up that you cannot reach it, because you do not have the required thing to actually do it. Because you know where you get the last piece from finishing the game. How dumb are the developers that is an actual thing that made it past QA? What are you doing? Here we are, the final task in the game. Tony basically wants us to do little combo tricks. You have seen these before. I thought, 17 combos? What the hell was he smoking? No, actually, it just means do 2 tricks at once. That's literally all it means. Yeah, no. Thanks, Tony. That's pretty actually straightforward. I can do that for you. Not a problem at all. We've done it before in the little film challenges that we've done, and then sometimes it actually does get called out in the other ones. So yeah, this is a pretty reasonable task to end on. Not too bad. Didn't go for the 6 score. I actually got to a point where I thought to myself, why am I wasting my time? Why do I need to be putting in this effort to get any higher of a score? So I just straight up just completely stopped. And I am so glad I did, because here comes the biggest disappointment you ever see. You must be thinking, wow, this skate park piece must be so cool for the end of the game. No. Oh my god, this is the biggest disappointment I've ever seen. What is this? What have I worked towards to receive a bloody hill? What are you smoking when you gave this to me? What? It's a hill. That's all of my hard work was for a fucking bump in the floor. Are you joking? Are you actually joking? I will show you my pure reaction to this, because what are you thinking when someone at the studio was like, you know, it'd be hilarious if we made him go through all this work just to go have that? You absolute idiot. Are you having me on? What the fuck was the point in all of that? Oh, for a fucking metal run. I've actually contracted fucking. Are you fucking having me on? Are you joking? All of this for some shitty ass ramp? What the fuck is the point of that? Thanks so much, Tony Hawk, for giving the shittiest thing to be the last one. Wow, this is so fucking cool and worth all of the effort that I went through for that shit, and missing out on the 6 score on the fucking hardest challenge in the game. Are you fucking for real? I didn't even get to record it, and that's what you reward me with. Are you fucking having me on, mate? I fucking can't stand you. You're joking. You're actually joking. Look, I'll even show you, right? Oh, this doesn't show you if I do it this way, because I've already done it. Look, all of these are ticked off, even the sick one on this shit fucking challenge, and I didn't even get to record it because fuck this game. Fuck this game. I don't even want to fucking see it again. Right, hello. Thank you all very much for watching the whole video. Yeah, this was not worth it at all. Yeah, that was my honest reaction. If you ever wondered why it sounded a bit weird, I put my mic out of the way, so it goes over there. And that's kind of why it sounds like that. It sounds bad because it's behind my monitor, so it's not picking it up right in front of my face. So here it's clear, but over there it's not. So if you ever wondered my reaction sounded a bit weird, it's because I just had moved it out of the way. One time I actually did sit with it in front of my face. I think when I got the dark slide, that was the only time. But usually I just play with it out of my view. So yeah. But thank you all very much for sticking around to the end. This game, I think it's good. It has a lot of cool, unique features. I really like the fact that for a DS game as well, that there's customization and you can build your own little skate park. Even though it is very minimal, I do really respect that, and I think it's good. I feel like they have 2 different dev teams in this game. Whoever did the start of it did a really good job, and then whoever got given the rest of it did an awful job. There's a few issues with it that I didn't like, but overall It's not bad. It's not bad. I definitely think if you ever want to have a go, emulate it. Don't pay for this shit. Emulate it and have a bit of fun with it because it's not bad. If you're ever bored, just just play it casually. Don't do what I did. It's not worth it, honestly. The mental stress is not worth it at all. And I'm still annoyed that I didn't get the 6 score on video. That is honestly my biggest regret. Thank you all very much for watching, and thank you very much to my money havers Andrew, Grim, Luna, and Francis. Thank you ever so much for supporting the channel and allowing me to make videos like these. Subscribe for more of this stuff, and I'll see you a lot later. Goodbye.